Okay, so this is video 5. Okay, yeah, as I said, that's the way that the homosexual culture of death proved that they're faithful to their spiritual father and physical father too, is to have, you know, sex with them. Okay, now, so now for those who would, and that's the way they get power from him, and that's why the Vatican does what it does. You know, that's why they have sex with pedophiles, little boys, and all that kind of stuff, messing up their lives, you know, before they even become men, turning them out, so to speak. And that's how they worship their devil father. The Beta-Caucasoids do not worship the same deity or the same creator as the Hebrew Abraham, and just as foretold to Adam in the garden. Okay, the outcast creature, okay, the outcast creature was told to Adam. Allah told Adam that the outcast creature, or Shaitan, was a sworn enemy. Okay, and the Shaitan told Allah when he asked Allah for mercy. Okay, because Allah was going to destroy the outcast. I believe Allah was going to destroy the outcast creature. Okay, but the outcast creature, or Shaitan, asked Allah to give him time, you know, until Adam would be raised from, until all mankind would be resurrected again. Okay, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said yes. Then the outcast creature told him that he would deceive all of Adam's semen, all of Adam's children, okay, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Shaitan, if all those of Adam's semen that followed Shaitan, that is to submit their will to Shaitan, that gave their soul to Shaitan, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would send all of those to hell, right, with Shaitan, okay. So Allah told Adam that Shaitan was a vowed enemy that Shaitan was a vowed enemy, and not to trust him. Okay, and that's before they fell. That's before that Adam and Hawa, were deceived by Shaitan, or they trusted him when they weren't supposed to. They listened to his advice, and they weren't supposed to. Okay, so anyway, then, as I said, what's his name? The Beta-Caucasoids, okay, they don't worship the same God as Abraham. They don't worship the same divine creator as Abraham does. They worship Shaitan because he's their spiritual father, right? And just as Shaitan has hatred and jealousy for Adam, so too does Shaitan's seeds. Okay? Shaitan has seeds on this earth. These are the Beta-Caucasoid males are his seeds. Literally his seeds. Okay? They are demons. They are demons. Okay? And that's why they practice their racism, and that's why they can drag a black man, Hebrew man, behind their car and hang him from a tree and burn him alive and do all this wicked stuff, and just go to other countries like Iraq and drop depleted uranium bombs on them and poison their water and destroy the earth and kill all these fish and just do all this inhumanity and enslave people and do the Trail of Tears and all, because they're demons. Literally, they're demons. These Beta-Caucasoids are demons. Okay, that's why they can do this fascism, and that's why they can do all this depopulation, and that's how they can drop the bombs on Hiroshima and Japan and prop up all these tyrants and what do they call? They were despotic dictators and all this kind of stuff. Starve half humanity and famine and watch people die and all, because they're demons. They get a thrill from that type of stuff. Okay, and they can be fast. That's how they can be fast. They can be like Hitler, you know, and kill 6 million people. Okay, they can. That's why they can destroy the environment. Put all these chemtrails and cause all these diseases, to breathing problems to people. You know, and that's chemical poisoning too. You know, you got the Trump regime talking about so-called false flag chemical poisoning to supposedly Syrian poisoning his own, or dropping chemical weapons on, using chemical bombs on his own people. These chemtrails are all over the world are using chemical. This is chemical warfare with these chemtrails. That's chemical warfare. You know, dropping it in the water is poisoning the water, poisoning the fish, poisoning the air that, you know, humanity breathes, poisoning the soil, causing depopulation, you know, and you know, so that's killing their own people. That's starving their own people. All this homelessness in America, you know, and these chemtrails cause, you know, these chemtrails cause it to be so cold, you know, at night, you know, and it makes the temperatures near freezing, and there's still a massive amount of homelessness on the street, and people freeze to death. And then they try to make it illegal, despite this person, the Christianity, Judaism, Islam says feed the poor, you know, shelter the poor. They're trying to make it illegal and put people in jail if they practice their religion, despite it's supposed to be separation between religion and there's supposed to be freedom of religion, a separation between church and state. You know, so they're encroaching on people's religious values, you know. So, you know, these demons, they have no qualm about doing that, you know, about killing humanity. They're demons. The beta caucasoids are demons. They're of the Gog and Magog, you know, creatures. Okay. Now, so Allah told humanity that they would be, you know, adversaries. Okay, that they would be adversaries to the Adam's semen. Okay, and they would be, they're jealous. These caucasoids, beta caucasoid males, junk males, are just as jealous of the alpha of Adam's semen as the Satan it was against Adam, for the same reason that Satan was jealous of Adam. Okay, because Adam was better than he is, and he said that he didn't want to bow down to Adam because he tried to tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Adam wasn't better than him, that he was created. The devil tried to tell Allah that he was better than Adam, and Adam was better than him because Adam had Allah's spirit in him, right? Okay, Adam has Allah's spirit in him. And Adam was punished because he contaminated that spirit Allah put in him. Okay, so, okay, now he was jealous that Adam was created to have, was created a better creature, was a better creation than he was. And it's the same as, you know, the beta males. They're jealous of the alpha gamma neutron man. Okay, and they try to lie to the beta males, try to lie to the the semen of Adam, and say that they are as beta men are more superior. Okay, the beta caucasoids try to tell the semen of Adam that they're superior, that the beta men are superior. Okay, and because the beta males are filled with the same rage. You know, and Oedipus, that's why they have that Oedipus complex, okay? And Adam is their father, and the semen are basically their, you know, because all men come from Adam, right? The outcast the devil didn't give birth to, and didn't deliver any man, right? He didn't intercourse with woman to give her any child, right? So the betas, even though they're betas, they still come from Adam. That's why I call them beta junk male. right? They call them junk male because they still come from Adam, right? They're still of Adam's seed. It's just that their spirit is of the creature, and their spirit being of the creature, then their flesh is of the creature too, right? Because energy creates mass too, right? Okay, so their spirit is contaminated, which contaminates their flesh, right? Okay. So, and their contaminated flesh is not better than the flesh of Adam that's less likely to be contaminated, and especially not better than the woman's flesh, right? Okay, than the woman. Okay, so the beta Caucasoid male try to tell the black males, I'll say, the semen of Adam, that they're better, that the beta is better, that beta is better to be a beta than it is to be an alpha, gamma, neutron male, right? And the betas try to say they're superior than the alpha, gamma, neutrons, okay? And that betas are filled with the same rage, jealousy as their father, Shaitan, their spiritual father, the devil is. These demonic beta males. They're filled with the same jealousy, the same hatred, the same evil, the same rage, the same negativity. That's why they are the culture of death. It is for the very reason of the spiritual jealousy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that the alpha, gamma, neutron semen of the heavenly Adam will never be will never be accepted into the closed box consciousness of the white homosexual or the fascist, I won't say white, but the fascist homosexual Caucasoid beta male separatist society. The beta Caucasoid male culture will always be isolated, okay? And yes, they are white. Many of them are white because they come from from Britain, okay? They came out of the Caucasus Mountains, okay? Many of them are white today. Okay, some of them are Asian too, though. Some of them, come from the Mongolian tribes, okay? But some of them are white too. You got to understand that. Okay. So they okay. Alpha gamma males, okay, hued males, they will never fit into that society. They will never let them fit into that fascist society completely, because then they would feel, they would take it over, and they can't. That's the only commercial power they have. So it's a policy of theirs. It's their policy to keep you out. There's religious policy. You see, it's their religion to keep you out, to keep black men, Hebrew men, alpha gamma men, those with the spirit of the semen of those that are semen of Adams, to keep them out. And it don't matter if you're Asian, you're Korean, you're Asian, or your aspects of Europe, or your aspects of European, or your Native American, or your African. It don't matter which continent you come from. As long as you're a semen of Adam, you're going to be kept out, okay, of that fascist beta Caucasoid culture, because it's their religion to keep you out. They want to stay pure. They want to stay purely beta. They want to stay purely demonic. They want to stay purely of Satan. That's their godfather, okay? And you got to know that. So you got to stop marching to try to get into their culture. You got to stop, not culture, but their commercial culture of death. Because they're only going to keep incarcerating you, because that's the only way to try to keep you down and to stop you from procreating, is to make you, procreate with, make you procreate outside of your, let's say, make you procreate in a way that creates a weaker offspring than should you create with, let's say, a woman who was created in heaven. Okay? Like they say, the gates of heaven are in a black woman. Literally, right? Because she was created in heaven, right? Okay, so they don't want you to go back to heaven, let's put it that way. They want you to create on a dimension that's lower than heaven, right? So that it will be less likely that you'll be a threat to them, that your children, that your semen will be a less threat to them. So the lower you go in, you know, in your breeding, okay, and let's say in your procreating, okay, the further you go from heaven, okay, the better they like it. So they want you not to procreate with, you know, the black woman. They don't want you to go back to heaven, if you will, because or procreate from women whose frequency is calibrated to, let's say, the highest dimension. Okay, they don't want that. They want you to procreate with a lower they want you to procreate with individuals on a lower frequency, right? So that they can kind of wash out that that spirit, that divine spirit, and that calibration, that divinity. Okay. So they don't want you in their culture. I mean, they don't want you in their commercial world. They're going to keep you out. That's a policy, a religious policy. They're going to keep sending the African people with that, you know, created in that higher frequency, incarcerated. They're going to, if you enter their world, they're going to keep you looking like keep black people, Hebrew people, and people of hue looking like fools. Keep them, you know, maligned and stereotypes. Because the worse you look, the better they look. The better it validates their the better it legitimizes them for, you know, continuing to oppress you. The best thing you can do is demand reparations, because it's owed and you can get it, and invest in Africa and get your own, initiate your own market. Build up your own commercial infrastructure, and you can do that. Then you can engage with the commercial, you know, world as it exists. But you got to have your own power. You got to get your power back, and you can't go to them for it, because they're not going to give you a damn thing, because that's the only power they have, and they're not going to give it to you. And it's a mandate from their devil godfather that not to give it to you. Don't you see? Even in the Holy Land, they're trying to keep what is it? Go back to Africa. Black people are monkeys. In America, black people are monkeys in the Holy Land, and it's your Holy Land. I mean, so they're not going to give you. They're only going to give you shit. Got to get it from Africa. You got to. It's your only truth. And they trying to take over Africa. Trying to take over everything you have. Even take over your life. Even use the body parts of the black people, you know, Hebrew people, for organ transplants. I mean, come on. You gotta get your own. You gotta open that third eye. Open that third eye. See what's going on. Okay, so anyway. So, yeah, they're not going to give the alpha gamma semen of Adam a damn thing. A damn thing. Okay? Nothing but shit and rot. Okay? Now, humanity must abandon the Caucasoid corporate culture of death and return to its nature and reconstruct its own societies based upon the Abrahamic principles, Judaic, Christian, Islamic guidelines, and be in celestial harmony with the earth. Okay, because that's the only way you're going to get something, is if you go back to your nature and you claim your spiritual superiority. Then when they beat you and try to incarcerate you, then they look exactly as to what they are, and that's demons. You got to expose them for what they are, and that is demons. But as long as you're marching and complaining about, you know, the imbalance and the inequality in the social structure and the corporate their corporate structure, you know, that's not going to get you. That's not going to get the Hebrew people not a damn thing. You see, Chinese people, they get their own. Every other culture tries to get their own. Hebrew people, and I mean black people, we got to get our own too. We got to get our own. And that's not to say that, you know, again, that you want to be an isolationist, you know. No. You know, it's just that you got to get your own market. We got to get our own market, because then we got to be entrepreneurs. We got to be investors of our own, in our own market, because then we can network with the Chinese. We can network with Koreans. We can network with, you know, Europeans. We can network wherever. It doesn't mean just, you know, commercially state separatists or, you know, fascists. No, that's not what it means. It means get your own. We got to get our own. We got to educate our own children. We got to educate. I mean, we got to, you know, we got to police our own neighborhoods. In order to be safe, you got to be commercially independent. You can't depend on them. Can't keep, because they're, you know, that's the only power that the beta males have, and they're not going to give it up, and they're not going to share it. You know, that's like a person going in their neighbor's house and complaining that their neighbor doesn't feed them, complaining that their neighbor doesn't protect them, complaining that their neighbor won't let them marry their daughter, complaining that the neighbor won't take care of them health-wise, complaining that the neighbor won't clean up after them, just complain about their neighbor won't do this when you can do it for yourself. We got to do it for ourselves. We got to, and we can. We have all of fucking Africa. I mean, we have all of fucking Africa. We have the diamonds, the gold, the land, the nature, everything Allah gave to us. And you know, we got to complain that they won't share with them sharing with us. We don't need them to share with us. We got to get our own. You know, I mean, we're the ones with all the creativity, with the DMT. We can do this. We're the one. The religious history is even ours. Comes from humanity. Our humanity to share with the world. And that's okay to share it. But you can't just let people come in the house and give it away. And another thing about this, come in the house and give it away. Rap, rock and roll. Oh, I said this before. And that is African people, black people, Hebrew people. You know? When, you know, when we engage in, let's say, the commercial corporate world, corporate structure, okay, we pay taxes. That's giving back. So it's like when we come in their corporate house, when we engage in their corporate house, we come to the table, we take, we also give back. That allows the corporate structure to stay in business, to continue functioning. Okay? Michael Jackson gave back. Oprah gives back. All the celebrities give back. Basketball players, all working poor, everybody gives back through taxes. Keeps their corporate structure afloat. Okay? Keeps them in power. But they come in our community, our black community, use our gifts and talents and don't give shit back. They come to our table and just take. Rock and roll came and took. And I know many of y'all may be mad when I say this, but Elvis came and fucking took. Even tried to get a crown. Y'all even tried to give him a crown for what he took. The dancing, the gyration, the movement, all of that. The voice when he sang. Heartbreak, all that, you know, that. You know? What did he do? Did he leave any schools in the African community? Hospitals? Grocery stores? Jobs? What did he give back? What dues did he pay back? What taxes did he contribute? What did he bring to the table other than take? Now we got rap. All over the world. making money for themselves in other cultures, came to the table, what are they giving back to the African, to the Hebrew community they took from? No, it stays poor because they just come and take the style. The style of the clothing, the shoes, even you make Nike millions and billions of dollars. What does Nike build back? What does Nike give? Got to start holding them accountable for giving back. Like if you don't give back in taxes, they confiscate the wealth, can possibly put the person in jail and prison. If you don't give back, they come and take from our table, from our community. They don't give shit back, and the community stays poor. It's time to make them. If they use the genres that the Hebrew people create, y'all need to start building schools. Y'all need to start educating. Y'all need to start creating jobs, building hospitals, doing something to give back, to show your appreciation for the wealth you were able to obtain off of the genre or the intellectual intelligence that was brought about, that was born as a result of the DMT that was utilized to manifest that creativity that made you millions and rich and put your name on the scene, that made you so popular. You need to give back instead of taking from the African community and just leaving them starving like they do Africa. Just usurp the wealth and leave the inhabitants poor, where they can't even afford underwear, socks, or shoes. It's time to give back, just like the black people give back when they pay taxes. And that ain't racist. That's just looking out for my children. You make me look out for yours in the form of taxes and supporting America. Now, I grant you, I do have, my native, not my native, but my ancestors were napped and brought here, and as a result, my life birth was here. Okay? And through my employment, I had to pay taxes. I had to contribute to the table. To America Defense, America Educational System, America this, America that. America Social Security System, America Unemployment Tax, America this, so they could distribute it through all these little systems. Little what they call archeries and all this kind of stuff to keep the American body afloat. Well, when you come into the African American genres and all this kind of stuff, give back. Care. Give back. Michael Jackson gave back. Red Cross, India, Africa, all over the world. Europe, he didn't discriminate. Oprah don't discriminate. And I use those two because those are the two that, the world really, really knows. But many of the athletes, they pay all their taxes. Entertainers pay their taxes. Like I said, down to the man who cleans a sewer, they pay taxes to keep the house afloat. Give back when you use rap, when you use rock and rhythm and blues, when you take anything from the table in the African, Hebrew, American communities. Give back. Build a hospital, build a school, set up scholarships. Support a banking system, support transportation, support policing. Do anything to empower the community that you take from, that you feed your own mouth from. And that goes for you Eminem of the world, the Eminems of Asia, Eminems of Europe, Eminems of all over the world. They're taken from rap and feeding y'all self. Give back. Build a hospital. Do something. when you come to the table. Don't just take and fill your belly and walk out. And now you even going into Africa trying to take the art off the walls, right? Going and take the table, take the bed, take the woman, to just move everything out the house. Take the wood, the infrastructure, everything. And just don't leave nothing, even take the organs from the body. No, it's time to give back. Give back. And that's not racist. If it's racist, then it's also racist to expect Hebrew black people in America to pay taxation without representation. Because that's what they get, in taxation without representation. And that's what started the Civil War. Started the Civil War, right? And enacted the Declaration of Independence, right? Okay, but if you got a war, you want to try to get African people, black Hebrew people in America to go serve in your military. How many are in the military when they ain't getting no paying taxation without representation? No, give back. If you take from the table, give back to the table. Got other children coming, waiting in line that are going to be born, that need to be fed, need to be protected, need to be clothed, need to be housed, sheltered, need to be educated. Okay? Give back. Now, I am tired of seeing black people, Hebrew people on the street beaten, incarcerated, uneducated, starving, the worst educated, the worst dressed, the worst this, the worst that. And don't go blaming it on black people, because it ain't there. They are disenfranchised from the fascist beta-caucasoid corporate structure of death, culture of death. And that's all good. That's all good. That's not the problem. The real problem is we've got to wake up and recognize that they ain't going to give you shit, and stop protesting and trying to get in their corporations for them to. That's their policy. It's their religion. Okay, that's all good. Now it's time to take your own. Make your own. Make your own, and when they come in your house to take, you got to make sure they leave something on the table so that your children and your children's children will be fed. Okay? It's not a matter just who comes in the house. It's what they doing in the house when they come in the house. Okay? Can't just let anybody in your house, because some come to take, right? And not give. It's time to start giving back. Okay? Like those people who come into the community get to set up shop businesses in the African American community, setting up the balance of the economy in the African American, the Hebrew African American community. Right? We're getting ready to go to video 6. So anyway, they come take a bulk of the wealth, right? By setting up their little stores, or little liquor stores, or little hair shops, or little this, or little that, and then take it back. They don't live in the community. They don't set up no schools in the community. No, they take that money back to their community and feed their children and spend in their community. They don't spend in your community. I'm going to tell you something I do. Okay, and many times, okay, I will go to the store. Okay, I'm trying to, okay, Salam Alaikum video through.